Hey guys, hi. It's been a while I've made such videos, but here we go. This is another SQL tutorial video in which I've created a few of the questions on my own, and I'll be posting the create statement as well as the insert statement in the comments below, so you can go and try it on your own, and also explaining my thought process behind how I think on a solution and what's a good way to go about solving solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and so when you see this question, try to do it on your own also, and then you can come back and see the solution, what would be appropriate for this one. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so I hope you guys can see the screen. Let me close this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so so this is the question that you can see, okay? So I've posted this create statement, which is about, books, okay? And the books that are being borrowed. So there are two state tables in this, okay? And there's also the insert statements that we have put in here, okay? So, and the output we're expecting is something. So let me just do, so let's first read the question, okay? Let me just first show you both the tables from books, okay? And then we have select what, okay. So let me show you the table, okay, what we're looking for to get, okay. Yes, okay. So this is the table that we are looking to get, okay, in here. And so if you see this table, okay, what are we looking for, okay, in this particular table, okay? So what is the question here, okay? The question that we are looking to answer for ourselves is that, okay, so you're given a database for library system that tracks book loans, okay? So this is the table for the books which are there in the system, in the library. And this is the data of the books that have been borrowed from the library itself, okay? So if you can see, there is a common ID between both of them, which is the book ID, okay? Now, if you observe one thing, what is the question? Write an SQL query to find the titles of the books that have never been borrowed. So, basically, what we are asking is that if you see in here 123, book ID 123 has been borrowed, okay, while the book ID 4 and 5 are not borrowed. So we need the outputs to be something like this, okay? This is the method we're expecting the question to be. So, now, I would want you guys to try this question out on your own self and understand whether how would you go about thinking and what is the procedure. Okay, you might want to use. Okay, now there are a lot of ways to do this question. You might want to consider, so one of the ways you can really start off by joining and everything. Okay, you can do a join statement. That's one method you can guys do. Okay, and then emit it out which are not there. So that's one approach you're gonna do. But I think that approach is quite simple. So I'm gonna do a good approach, which is a little different, more faster in a way, less complicated and not really that massive. Okay. Now, basically, what do we need in here? Okay, so let's say, for example, so we don't need the books that have not been borrowed, okay, from this thing, okay. So, let's do one thing, which is to check. First, let's get the idea of the books that are borrowed, okay. But we don't want the books that have been. Let's say if one book has been borrowed multiple times, we don't need that, okay. So we need the data of those book ID, which are distinct, okay. So so we need it this way. So I'll want to show you. Select distinct, okay. Select distinct. Book ID from borrowed. Now, if you do in here, what am I doing? Okay. So what I'm trying to do in here is that why did I use distinct? So if the books were multiple, if one book was borrowed multiple times, we don't need that. What we need is okay, books that have never been borrowed, okay. And so we needed a distinct of that. That's the reason I took this, okay. Now, if you have to look into the question, okay, what is the format we need title, okay. So I'm pretty sure you understand that we don't need to use the from should not be from the books from the borrowed, but we have to. So if the title is so if you run this here, okay, so you understand we probably have to select the data from the books, because if you see the output is also title, okay. So let's do this, okay. Let's do select title, okay. um Let's do this one. Select title from books. This is something we need. So this is the format we're looking for, and but we don't need this three of these which are there in this borrowed. Okay. Now, if I had to do this, okay, you remember the first this query in which we wrote, in which we found out all the distinct book IDs which have been borrowed, all the unique books that have been borrowed from the borrowed table. Okay, so we don't need that. So when you say we don't need that, what do you mean? Okay, you have to understand in here, we don't need a group by statement. We don't need a having statement. We understand that we don't need something. So it's very simple. We need to use where statement here. Okay, so we have to use this way. I'll tell you, show this. Where book, so we don't need a book ID in what? So which book IDs do we don't need? Okay, what are the book IDs that I don't want? The book IDs that are distinct, which are already present. So when you don't want something, how do we write it? We write not in, and I'm gonna simply copy this part and this and paste it here. So what have I done here? So I want all the book IDs which are not present in the distinct book IDs from the borrowed table. You understand? A two-line answer. We don't need this, okay? I just wrote this, and we don't need any of this, okay? A two-line query. So you don't need to solve multiple of this thing, okay? So let me just see if this would be a good one. So you understand? So you got the Moby-Dick and Pride and Prejudice as a simple answer. Okay. So it's a very simple way of using where statement and how to use subquery in a way of doing things. Okay. So there are few concepts to understand where to use distinct or not to. So if I did something like this here, it would give me an error because when you're using a subquery, okay, you have to select a certain point. Okay. You have to select a certain column. Okay. That's the importance of having a book ID from here. Okay. So, and if I wanted, so if the question asks, okay, I want all the book IDs that have been borrowed, okay, I could have, to do that, I could have used join statement and done that, but it's a complicated query. Then you have to do inner join. You could have done inner join, then on that. So it's a huge effort. So if I want to find book ID that have been borrowed from the library, it gives me the first three ones. We are not getting the Moby Dick and the Pride and Prejudice. Okay, so very simple question, very good in a logical development. So a very simple question. So it's a good to understand how to do these queries. Okay. So I think that's about it. It's a very good query, I personally feel. So I'm going to post the create and insert statement. Try it out on your own. If there are any good solutions that you are able to get on your own, post it in the comment section, and I might also give it a through whether we're able to write something better than this. Then that would be amazing. A smaller query, more efficient query, more efficient query. Okay, that'd be amazing. So I think that's about it for this video. I hope you guys watch this video. If there's any particular thing you're looking for, I'm not sure because I'm thinking right now for my channel to really focus on creating SQL tutorials because I feel I learn from such kind of videos the most. I feel it brings the highest amount of value to anyone in learning something. So that's the reason I was posting content on Twitter and LinkedIn, but I feel at a time that they don't offer much of value or learning to anyone. So I feel that the most amount of value that I can offer is through a video content somebody can actually learn through. So if there's any other way that you feel that you could learn, which I might not be aware of, or because I am not that much exposed, so please let me know. You have my email. I'll be posting there. If there's any particular thing in a format of videos which you think are very good, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, so that's about it, and thank you very much. Have a good day.